Hi, I'm Casey, and welcome to Ipswich Stories.
Ipswich was proclaimed a city in 1904. Since then, the population has grown to around 210,000, with major industries being healthcare, social assistance, retail, manufacturing and defence. And within all these people, there's stories that haven't been told yet. I'm here to tell you these stories. So welcome to Ipswich Stories by Casey Andrew.
This is the first episode of a series I'll be doing, and I stumbled across it through my social media. So enjoy!
Hi, I'm Alex Stiles, and the Give Initiative is where I've pledged to donate half of my pay for half the year directly to charity, while using the values of minimalism to learn to live off the other half and to be just as happy with less. And I get the followers to help me choose a different charity each month, where I'll donate $2,000, which is half of that month's pay. And I'll also set up a crowdfund for people that feel inspired to give as well. So coming up in March, I would have actually been in the Australian Air Force for 6 years now. And I think one of the things that first gravitated me to the forces was that first and foremost, a way to give back to the community, to help others, and also to belong to a larger community as well, like a larger family. But firstly, the Give Initiative for me was a personal journey of self-improvement, which I guess is something that we all do to a degree, but I just wanted to raise the stakes to really force change into my life, to maybe tear down some of the mindsets that we inherit in our society. And secondly, there was the more public side of it, where I wanted to inspire others to maybe find happiness in things like giving, and that helping other people find their happiness is maybe the most substantial type of happiness that we can achieve in our lives. Charities that we've been able to help as the Give Initiative so far is Starlight Foundation, Live In, Aussie Helpers, Mates and Mates, and the Fig Tree Children. This month I'm going to be donating directly to the people that need it most as a Give Initiative, so that's going to be a massive step for me and the initiative itself. Each month, on top of my donation and the crowdfund, I also try to do something a little extra special just to raise a bit of interest and some money for that charity. For the Starlight Foundation, I did a public fundraiser in Queen Street Mall in Brisbane. For Live In, I did the Bridge to Brisbane. For Aussie Helpers, I took a week off work and went and volunteered out on the drought-affected farms. And for the Fig Tree Children, I actually completed a 140-hour famine to try and raise as much money as we can. So myself, like anyone else, has had a lot of challenges in my life. For me, I'm the fourth child of 8 children. I've got quite a large family. And, although my family means more to me than anything else, it came with its own set of challenges. And I think there were certain things that I was carrying inside me right up until 2016, so quite recently, that I hadn't quite dealt with. So when I finally plucked up the courage to deal with that and come to a resolution within myself, for me it was the biggest thing I'd ever done in my life. And coming out of that, I felt just an immense sense of freedom and strength. And that's what made me ask the question of, you know, if I can achieve that, what can't I achieve? And that thought is actually what led to me coming up with the Give Initiative. It kind of gave birth to the Give Initiative that we see now. My family has actually had quite a large role in supporting me through the Give Initiative. Just like we support each other in day-to-day life. Even behind the scenes, even though I'm a one-man band, this whole thing's just been pretty much me. There's been different times where my siblings have come to help out, and even both my dad helping me do the Bridge to Brisbane and my mum sharing the story of how I even came to be, they've both been able to be a part of the journey that is the Give Initiative. Some members of my family's ability to overcome adversity or to display generosity, I think, is a direct parallel to what made me even want to do this in the first place. One of my personal values in life is to always strive to be a better person, but understand that none of us can achieve that, and to take your shortcomings in your stride, but just continue to work towards every day being that better person. I I also believe that happiness is found when you find purpose and meaning, not so much just that short-term emotion of gratification. And I think quite often, you know, those can be merged, but ultimately, once you find your purpose and meaning, that's when you really become content in life. So I found actually giving half my pay to a different charity each month surprisingly easier than I was expecting. But the first time was a little bit weird. I remember sitting at my keyboard doing the bank transfer. I had like sweaty hands because I guess a whole lot of preparation culminated in that one moment. But yeah, ultimately I've found it a lot easier, and I think that the reason that is because what I've done is I've focused on my values and my priorities. So, you know, they say if you want to see where someone's heart truly lies, look at their bank account. So what I've done is I've tried to have the top-down approach where I really focus on my priorities and values, and then yeah, once you believe in it, then the rest of it actually becomes a lot easier. What motivates me to keep going is that I just want to prove to people that you can still have control in your own life, and that you can still grab that steering wheel, and if you don't like your direction, that you can alter it if you want to, and that you're not just a hamster stuck on the wheel of trying to earn a certain amount of money to achieve you know, certain tick boxes of success. And that 2018 was going to pass me by anyway, but each day we have a chance to redefine not only our past but our future, because if you've had a troubled past but you use the present moment to turn that into a stepping stone for something better, then I believe you get to recontextualize what that all meant, and that also reshapes your future into something much more meaningful as well. Also, just like we look to personal trainers to be the example of what we can physically be if we put our mind to it and they inspire us in that domain, I've kind of now, I'm starting to see myself as a personal trainer within the mindset and heart domain, where you know, what we can achieve in generosity and selflessness. And hearing that I have already had impacted on people's lives, and different people in different ways have approached me and said the impact that I've had, to me is the most inspiring thing, and just drives me to keep going and keep doing what I'm doing. For me, trying to find meaning, and I think one of the most substantial forms of meaning is helping others, because once you do that, you no longer become just one person, but you become something. You become a part of something much bigger, which makes the problems that you face in life also comparatively so much smaller when you feel like you're part of a community, part of a group, because you know, that's one of our human needs is to belong. And I think the best way to do that is by reaching out and helping others if you have the power to do so. Throughout the Give Initiative journey so far, I believe I've discovered my life's passion, and that's to use the gifts that I have been given to influence people and to make the world a better place. As amazing as the Give Initiative journey for me has been so far, it has definitely had a lot of challenges. But the challenges actually haven't been quite what I was expecting. So, boom, living off half your pay has actually been a lot easier than I was expecting. Boom, giving away a total of $12,000. That's actually been a lot easier to do than I was expecting. And I think ultimately it's because I believe in what I'm doing. But for me, where the challenges lie was, so far in my life, I think most of the decisions I've made have been reactive. I've never been someone that's proactive, that can inflict change. So for me, not only I made that decision at the very beginning, but every day I had to force myself to stick with it and to keep going. And that's, for me, was probably the hardest thing when I do this pretty much by myself, so I've got no one to fall back on. I just have to look in the mirror and say, Alex, you know, you signed up for this, so let's see this thing through. I believe happiness is finding your purpose. I also believe it is the connections that you've made. But ultimately, I think happiness is a mindset, and that is, no matter where you are in your life, that is something that you can choose, that you have power over. I've made plans for the Give Initiative to continue into 2019 and beyond, and to carry on the values and the message of the Give Initiative about finding true wealth through giving, and the role that giving has in our lives to really find value.